and welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Blue Table Talk Show. This is a migration program that helps Nigerians make informed decisions about migration. My name is Enitan Oteju Ibironke, and my guest for today is none other than Mrs. Sola Babatunde. I shall be telling you who Mrs. Sola Babatunde is. Mrs. Sola Babatunde is the founder and director of One Stop Celebration Limited, also known as OSC Limited. OSC has empowered more than 25,000 Africans directly and indirectly, many of whom have been deployed to assist other organizations thrive while some have started their businesses. She's also a Goldman Sachs scholar, a certified master trainer from IL and FSCC of Skills in India, and holds an advanced entrepreneurial business certificate from the Andrews Business School. Today, Mrs. Sola Babatunde is going to help us dissect this topic that talks about, are there any opportunities in Nigeria for Nigerians who are considering irregular migration? What exactly is the skill industry? What options do we have as Nigerians who actually are considering migrating irregularly? Mrs. Sola Babatunde, it's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, so we're going to go right into this, and I must say that after reading your profile and reading everything, I'm like, wow, I'm excited to have you on the program with me today. So let's go right in. So we've been talking for a bit before we got on the program, and the question I would like to ask you this morning, in your opinion, do you really think that there are any opportunities for young Nigerians, people between the ages of 18 to 35 who feel that the only way out is to migrate irregularly? They just want to leave. What opportunities exist for them?
Numerous, uncountable opportunities. There are so many things to do in Nigeria. So we have a population of over 200 million people, of which there are women, men, children, and there's so many things that they would need. If you look at the different basic needs of people, so people need shelter, then they need clothing and food, and then the rest. So I'll pick clothing, which is where I come in.
Definitely.
So clothing alone, there's so many categories of things that we could produce and sell to ourselves, even not to think of exporting them. So we have, let's start from the basic things like a t-shirt, your sleepwear, your nightwear, the baby's onesie, your underwear, the boxers, the socks, the handkerchiefs, something as simple as that, not even maybe the Owambe clothes. I'm not even going to go that far. There's so many things that can be produced in Nigeria. Just learn the skill and you can earn quite a lot from it, or you can be employed by other people who are already doing those things and you're managing their businesses for them.
Interesting. I like the fact that, it's sort of like you opening our minds in a way that we probably weren't thinking. And I would like to ask you, do you think that local skill development and education can actually reduce the issue of people wanting to leave Nigeria at any cost? In particular, this time around, we're talking about people that want to go out of Nigeria. They're thinking the desert, Mediterranean, they want to pay agents, they also want to get out at any cost. So local skill development, is it really an option for them?
Definitely is an option. I even feel if you're really skilled and you're a highly trained artisan, you even have a better chance if you have to migrate. Then you'll be able to go legally, you'll be able to be gainfully employed. But if you even do this in Nigeria, you find out that you're earning far, far higher than if you travel abroad. So for example, let me pick somebody who was a tech pack developer. I'll explain what that is. So in the fashion industry, if you want to ask a factory or somebody to make your clothes for you, there's someone who has to have drawn it, the front, the back, and give all the specifications that's needed. So what inch the neck should be, how wide, how small, the sleeves. I'm not talking about the fashion illustrator, just someone who brings out the technical details of the garment. And that person, even abroad, could earn as high as $200 per piece.
Wow.
And you can work from here. You could be in Nigeria, do the tech pack, and email it to them over there. You could be a pattern maker. You could be a cutter. There's so many other jobs other than the person who's actually sewing and selling in the fashion industry. So there's a value chain, meaning there are different departments that could be developed that people would be happy staying back in Nigeria, still see their families. They don't have to go through the desert, endanger their lives, and earn a good living.
I must say that even I am tempted. I'm very interested in what you're talking about. Okay, so in this situation, I can already tell my next question to you sort of has been answered already. I mean, with the question, what I'm trying to ask you now is, are there any sectors or industries that you believe are experiencing growth or are promising and giving good promising opportunities for Nigerians right now?
Oh, definitely the artisan, or I would say, well, how we call it in Nigeria, the handwork industry. So just on my way here, on Instagram, I saw so many ladies. They were making wooden tables and they were polishing them, and they sell them for, a piece is almost 400 and 300,000 just from wood that we have everywhere, an endless supply of. So if you are able to learn a skill, be it carpentry, plumbing, even tiling, painting, so many things that in those days were looked down on. But right now, you see that the industry even now needs these skills, and they have to import people from our neighboring African countries, or even internationally. People come to Nigeria to come and take over the jobs that our own people should take over. So there are factories, for example, who have to bring in expatriates to be their production managers, to be the technical supervisors, because our people have looked down on those professions in the past. So it's time to wake up and see that the grass is not greener on the other side. It's hard living abroad.
Well, thank you for viewing, and we definitely know you're still watching us. This is the Blue Table Talk Show. My name is Enitan Oteju Ibironke, and my guest today is Mrs. Sola Babatunde, and we are talking about opportunities that exist for Nigerians, young Nigerians, so that they can consider viable options as opposed to going irregularly out of Nigeria. So, Mrs. Babatunde, I would like to ask you one question now. What role, if any, do you think that entrepreneurship plays in providing viable alternatives to irregular migration? And what initiatives does your organization actually offer to support employment and entrepreneurship?
So entrepreneurship is, it's a very, very viable tool that can be used to ensure that people don't, migrate illegally. So for example, if you're a fashion designer and you want to open your own business, you would need a minimum of 4 people to work with you. If you're doing it standard and proper way, at least you need someone to keep the books so that they're watching the money going in and out. You need someone to stitch and sew while you design. So if I say fashion designer, the person is the brain who's designing, coming up with a concept for whoever their target market is. Then you will need someone who's the interface, so maybe like the salesperson, or who goes to deliver or communicates with the customer if you don't want it to be you. And then, of course, the person who cuts. Even though you can start with just by yourself, but you can form a team of 4 people. So imagine if every four people band together and are able to do this business. There's no need to run away anywhere illegally. You would see that, okay, it becomes easier because there are 4 of you as opposed to just you. It's for good heads.
For good heads, better than one empty head.
Better than one empty head. So instead of being trapped in Libya or somewhere and you're a slave there, because I've had people we've trained before. So what we have done at OSC College of Fashion, because we have a training school, we have trained those who actually were deported, those who had to come back, and we engaged them and we found out the reasons why they traveled in the first place was to look for greener pastures. They couldn't get proper education here, or some of them are even educated but didn't get jobs. So, and didn't know that there are other types of businesses to do that would not need a very high capital. So we trained them and then put them in groups. So some of them banded together to form a sewing hub where they can sew. People can outsource to them. Some got employed by other people. We even have those we've trained who earn as high as 200,000 naira in Nigeria monthly. And that's, so if people know what they can do, and then there's, of course, the assistance of governmental agencies, private individuals, and even the society to encourage people and not talk down on some certain professions. People would be happy, and then we are happy to buy Nigeria. That's another thing.
Very true.
A lot of people think it's only the imported items that are good. So, but you can have your everyday clothes made by a Nigerian, and their Nigerian brands would be able to come up with products that will suit that if they know that Nigerians will buy.
That's very true. I know this thing you're saying reminds me of when I was growing up and I was very interested in fashion. For me, like I would draw, I would do the designs, I was very interested. And I remember telling my parents that, oh, I want to go to a polytechnic school and learn fashion design. And my mother said, what? Oh no, what is all this about? And then people, that was the reaction. And of course, the decision was no way, I'm going to go and study law. But many years down the line, I look at it and I say to myself that if I'd gone down that line, gone to fashion school, learned it all, where would I be today? Of course, I probably would be a different person. But that part of people looking down on some professions is so true. And I like the fact that we're talking today and we're showing that there's an opportunity in the fashion industry at least. Because sometimes when you're talking to returnees or potential migrants, they wonder that, okay, you tell us the opportunities, where are those opportunities? How do we do it? That will now make me ask you. So, for instance, now you have a fashion college, you have a school where you teach fashion. How easily accessible is it for the young Nigerian who has thought to himself or herself that I want to japa because there's no opportunity? You are saying there's fashion, come and learn, you can earn this money. But is it something that they can actually easily access, or are there scholarships or opportunities?
The training is actually free. We have found several partners who come in and pay for them. So when we first started, the tuition fee was a lot. People could not afford. But God brought us partners. I don't know if I'm able to mention their names, but God brought us different partners, different agents. So USADF, GIZ, Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, and some other few individuals who would say, you know what, I want to sponsor my younger brother, I want to sponsor my younger sister. And we even offer that at a discount. We've had churches, we've had NGOs, Fields, that's the name of an NGO. They even empower women, widows, or those who have either been involved in domestic violence. So we've had quite a lot of, there are agencies who support. And even if you come to us, so even in fact, just this morning before coming, we OSC gave a scholarship to about 10 women who are above the ages that the other agencies support. So the agencies support only 18 to 35.
Okay.
And we get a lot of mails and inquiries from those who are older who say, I need this job. I've even found out that they would even be more serious.
Definitely.
They've seen life, they have children, they want to take care of their families. So OSC launched a program where we offered today, actually, 10 women to come and learn for free. The cost that would normally have been 650,000 naira, we give to 10 people for free.
That's fantastic.
So the cost is free. All they just need to do is go to our website or our Instagram page and ask for the link to register.
So if you're viewing us today on the Blue Table Talk Show, we're showing you that there are indeed viable opportunities for Nigerians in Nigeria. And we're looking at the fashion industry and we're seeing that this is information that is useful for everyone. So I'd like to say, how do we leverage technology to enhance local businesses and career advancement? How do you think technology can play out in this situation, especially your industry?
I'm very key that people need to know that they have to embrace technology. So in our company, for example, so One Stop Celebration, which is the manufacturing side of our company, we use automated, technology-driven machines. So we've moved from using our leg to paddle.
Oh, really? That's fantastic.
From just even ordinary industrial machines to computerized machines. So the computerized machines are easier to use, they are faster, the stitching quality is higher. That's why you can tell the difference when you say, oh, this dress is imported. It's just because of the finishing and the handling is easier for the people to use. So we do that. Also, apart from the sewing side, the process. So we have ERPs that makes things easier, meaning we can handle a customer vis-a-vis the efficiency of the factory, make it easier. Even for accounting softwares, there's softwares there. And then there's fashion tech, where you can use technology to do fashion. Right now, I don't need to sit and draw. There's AI. All I need to tell the AI is I need a blouse, purple in color, as you mean. It's for a woman age so who wants to wear it for this purpose, and it generates the design.
Interesting.
So there's so many things coming up right now that a lot of young people, we need them in fashion tech.
Thank you, Mrs. Babatunde. As we put a wrap on this very interesting episode, I would like to ask you, how do you think we can encourage young people to explore and invest in local opportunities as opposed to trying to migrate irregularly?
First of all, they should have an open mind, a positive mindset, a paradigm shift. They need to think more positive than negatively about Nigeria and about the situations they are in. Trust me, I've been there. I know it could be hard, but if you have a better mindset where you're hopeful, where you're looking to God and actually doing something, I'm not just referring to praying and not doing anything. I'm saying where you actually do something about it, you go and find out what opportunities are around me. Most times, when you think things are so bad and all the chips are down, that's actually when there's an opportunity around the corner. So for me, this year, there's so many opportunities in Nigeria, and I'll give one. So the dollar is going up, Naira is going down. It just means that imported items are going to be more expensive. So if you can bring a locally sourced, locally produced alternative that still meets the right quality, Nigeria, the market is for you.
Wow.
The market is for you.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Babatunde. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
And today on the Blue Table Talk, we have explored viable opportunities for young Nigerians that they can look into as opposed to migrating irregularly. My name is still Enitan Oteju Ibironke, and we hope you have enjoyed watching this episode of the Blue Table Talk Show. So we'll come to you again next time. Thank you.